Good evening, thank you. It's a great pleasure and a real honour to be presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award to someone I personally admire and love and has been a great friend for nearly 20 years. The recipient of this year's award starred in the very first episode of EastEnders way back on the 19th of February 1985. Since then, she's appeared in 1,958 episodes over a period of 22 years. In that time, her character has become the embodiment of everything that EastEnders stands for. Proud, no nonsense, unbreakable spirit, and perhaps most of all, loyal. I am, of course, talking about the wonderful Wendy Richard. As Pauline Fowler, the original matriarch of Albert Square, Wendy has been the heart and soul of EastEnders and has been at the centre of the most remembered and talked about storylines over the years. Through all the many diverse challenges threw at Pauline, Wendy always played her with a complete honesty and truth. To give you an idea of how seriously Wendy took her role as Pauline, she would make sure that every detail of the Fowler household remained exactly the way the character would have wanted. Remember, Wendy? There always had to be fresh fruit in the fruit bowl, and if ever a cameraman thought of moving it for a better shot, he'd be told in no uncertain terms to put it back in place. That's the type of person Pauline was, and Wendy made sure she stayed true to her character every step of the way. Her departure from EastEnders has been keenly felt by her colleagues, her friends, and the millions of viewers who took them to her heart. For why, Wendy, I will miss you greatly. Here is just a brief glimpse of Wendy's work.
A big hand, please, for Pauline Fowler.
I think it's bloody ridiculous. And downright irresponsible. Having a baby at your age?
Yes, Mum, we're having a baby, and we're glad. And if you can't be glad for us, well, it's too bad. Because we're having a baby because we want it. I'm fed up with you sitting around the house whinging and moaning. And for seconds, you can go out and get yourself a proper job.
Now, look here, Pauline.
Shut up, Arthur Fowler. No one interrupts Pauline Beale when she's in mid-flow.
Yeah? I'm pregnant.
I see. You're Vicky's dad, ain't you?
Yeah.
Pauline, this ain't gonna solve anything.
No, but screwing some frustrated old prostitute didn't it? That was all right.
But it didn't mean anything to me. It meant nothing to me.
You stay away.
But Pauline, please,
Stay away from me, Arthur.
What they call HIV.
HIV?
You've looked after me your whole life.
But that is my life.
Yeah, and it's been ruined ever since the first day I told you. You've had to live with this as long as me. It's long enough. You knew this day would come. Now it's here.
But you're my boy. You're my baby boy.
I have just seen my granddaughter for the first time in ages since she was a tiny baby. And she's the loveliest little thing I have ever met. Now that I've found her, I can't let her go again.
They have had to carry the whole weight, and Martin's the only one left to do it now.
And why shouldn't he? He's my son. He should look up to me.
I used to look up to you. Family with a mum and a dad, it seemed like the best thing in the world.
It was the best thing in the world. It was my world. And now it's all gone. All of it. Taken away from me. And why? What have I done wrong? I've always been good. I've always been loving.
What am I going to do without you?
Goodbye, Dot.
Martin, it's Mum. I need to speak to you. If you get this, call me, please. I don't want to leave like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lifetime Achievement Award goes to the irreplaceable Wendy Richard.
He always makes me cry every time I see him. It's only because I'm so pleased to see him. Gosh, it's heavy too. Well, when we started all those years ago on E8, our code name for EastEnders, I bet Julia Smith and Tony Holland never thought I'd be stood here getting one of these more than 2 decades later. And also the wonderful David Croft and Jeremy Lloyd that cast me as Miss Brahms, and when you think Miss Brahms and Pauline, absolutely poles apart. And so I'm very moved that the public and the people who voted this obviously thought enough of them both. Thank you very much.